Alright, today's project is going to be replacing the C2 power steering pump on the 92 F-150. And this is an idea of what you're going to need. You can use ratchets and stuff, but you're going to see why that I like wrenches better in just a second. There's not much space right there. Alright, this is the belt that I use for my inline 6 and bypasses the smog emissions pump down there. And it seems to work very fine. It doesn't have too much tension causing issues, and it isn't too loose. That's what I've used for the last 8 years or so, roughly. Here's the power steering pump, and I think it's a A1 Cardone or whatever. I got it from CarQuest. And then last, but you're going to need this. Now this bad boy is about $55 to buy. But you need it to pull the pulley off of the pump, swap pumps, and then put the new pulley, replace the pulley back onto the pump. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is take a 15mm wrench and go ahead and remove the drive belt. You might have to use 2 wrenches or a breaker bar to get the leverage to pull the tensioner up out of the way. This is just to give you an idea of why that we're replacing this pump. It's not that it's binding as far as the spinning goes, because you can see it's very easily moving. The problem comes from the pulley is walking forward and backwards, like you can see here. Alright, now that we have gotten the belt off, we're ready to start assembling the power steering pump pulley remover. This kit also carries the installation kit with it, so it's a 2-in-1 setup. Now this is the one I'm using currently, is the model number 648605. Now whenever you open this up, this side has to be open first, otherwise all your parts are going to fall down. It's a nice kit in that it has step-by-step instructions on how to put your pump on and off, the pulley on and off. It's got everything that you need, and so what we need to do to start with is you can see right here you got your center screw here, and then what we need to do from there is to put the little universal center screw button in. It just pushes in, and then from there we need to install this little fella right here. That's what these jaws actually grip onto. Just also for reference, these are not just omnidirectional. They will have to be put in one way to push and one way to pull. So if you go ahead and put them in like so, you can see what I'm saying right here in just a second here. If I put them in together like so, put them in the collar for you. See how it makes a oval on one side, but then you have a circle on the other? That's a big difference on there. One side pulls and one side pushes. Just so you know that you have to have this the right way, or you can't mix and match. You can't have one turned that way and one turned this way. You see the difference now? It'll let the pulley kick off to the side. Now whenever you install this, what you're going to need to do is put this, you're going to have 2 hands for this. Put this in, run this fella all the way down so that half of it clips onto this lip, and then the other half clips onto the lip of the pulley. Add the other half, and then put the little collar in, and then it will look like this. Whenever it comes to actually tightening this up and installing, this has to stay perfectly straight till you get it off, the pulley off, and then you have to keep it straight to put the pulley on. That's where this gets hard. What you're going to need is a 1/2 inch size wrench for this side. I recommend using the open end so you don't have to try to slide it off and then risk damaging your radiator. And then on the other side, to hold this still so this can do its job, you need a 7/8 inch wrench to hold that still. Now, with the two halves of the jaws firmly put onto the lips of the pulley, put your thrust washer on, and then put it finger tight so you can, it's not moving anymore. And then from there, that's whenever you're going to have to use your wrenches to go ahead and start turning this, and then you'll see it push. The centerpiece goes in, and it's smaller than the diameter of the pulley itself, so it'll actually, as this goes in and pulls this nut back, it'll pull this completely off the shaft. Alright, and the best way I've found to turn this and not move it is use your 7/8 inch boxed in wrench. Put the boxed in down there so you can hold it and it won't move as you twist the 1/2 inch drive side of it. Now that we've got it all straight and aligned, as you can see, you need to make sure and pay attention that you have your jaws with the elliptical side towards you. That way that the circular side is gripping evenly all the way around your pulley. Alright, we're going to inspect the pump here. This is the one from OEM, whatever brand that is. It's remanufactured, it's not new. And it seems to be exactly what I've got already, so the only thing I'll have to transfer over is the cap and the new hoses. Alright, we are removing the mounting bolts. There's 17 millimeter bolts that holds the pump assembly onto the bracket. Now, for the bottom bolt here, you'll have to have a 6-point socket, 17 millimeter, and a small extension, because it's kind of awkward to get to where it's sandwiched in. You don't really have the room to swing a wrench. Alright, after you've cleaned your pulley and you've got the new pump assembly bolted in, you're going to need the GM 3.1 liter screw. That seems to be the one that fits the best. It screws into the end of the pulley, and then once you get your pulley snapped around that and slid up, that's when you'll need to put your thrust bearing and washer on your puller, and that will make it the installation side of it. Alright, now again, some of this stuff is directional. Your thrust bearing has to have this side, preferably you got a washer that goes in there, but the quote new kit that I bought didn't have the washer. I need to actually add one in, but what it does is it provides a flat surface for this to spin on, but it'll work anyway. But put the inner section towards the pulley. The other side is just flat, like you can see here. It's just flat, and it just runs up against the pusher setup. And all you have to do is thread it onto the little adapter. Again, was the 3.1 liter setup for a GM. It's the one that fit the best. And then once you've got that tightened down as tight as it'll go, you basically just slide this down, thread this all the way down, and the installation, instead of loosening to loosen the pulley and pull it away, you're turning it to a tightening pattern so that it will push, and that's it. The only thing you have to do now is just use your 12 millimeter and 7/8 wrench to tighten everything back up, and then you're good to go. Alright, at this point, instead of spinning the center screw, you're spinning this nut slash washer. So what I do is where I'm using the phone right now, go ahead and let this right up against that plastic. You don't want to crank down so much you know you're going to break plastic, but it gives you a firm hold to do this. And if you'll notice, every time I do that, it pulls that pulley just a little closer to the pump. Now, I opted to do the hoses last because I got a full reservoir of fluid, but you'll need a pair of pliers to squeeze this compression clamp down and transfer it over. And this is an 18 millimeter nut. You don't try to take this off. You try this one right here, the silver one that's actually attached to the hose. That's the one you have to take off, and then it transfers over. Because if you see here, you've already got the big nut looking thing there already.